Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to install OBS and get it ready for streaming to Twitch. So the first thing you want to do is go to obsproject.com/download or just Google OBS Studio download. The version I'm going to be installing here in this version is 17.0.2. You'll probably have a later version by the time you watch this, but the process should still be the same, and if it's not, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. It's not that complicated. So first you want to download the installer for the correct version, of course, if you've got Mac or Linux. I will be using Windows though. This is where I'd click save and, OK or whatever, but to save time I've already downloaded it. So here's the installer here. So we're going to run this. It wants to allow changes to be made. Say yes. Blah blah blah. Click through a wizard. Install. This is the easy step. It can take a little time, depending on whether you've got an SSD or just a regular hard drive. Anyway, so it's done installing. And if you look around your desktop, you will find that it's put a nice little icon on there for you. So just give that a big old double click, agree to the license, and this is OBS. So I'll just take a bit of time here to explain the general overview of OBS. So if you look here, this is our scene. A scene is like a virtual desktop, and this preview here will show what you will be streaming. We've also got profiles up here. You can create new ones and stuff. A profile is a collection of settings. So for example, if you want to stream to Twitch, and you also, for whatever reason, want to stream to Hitbox, you would have two separate profiles, one for Twitch and one for Hitbox, and you'd switch between them depending on where you wanted to stream. But anyway, for our purposes, we don't really need to worry about that. Sources down here are going to be the actual windows that you can select from to stream. But enough about that, let's start configuring. So go ahead and click on Settings, down here in the bottom right corner, or you can find it under File, Settings. It'll bring up a window like this. So you're going to want to look for the Stream tab. Here we've got, streaming services, Twitch. You can swap to YouTube or Hitbox or, one of the others. And here you can pick your Twitch server. So you want to pick the one closest to you geographically speaking, generally. So for example, I live in Australia, so I'll pick the only Australian Twitch server in Sydney. Now stream key. You need the stream key to stream to Twitch. It's tied to your Twitch account. So what you want to do is you want to go to Twitch and log in. And then you want to go to twitch.tv/your username/dashboard. You'll get a screen like this. And then you'll want to swap over to the Stream Key tab and click Show Key. Now, this is a pop-up telling you never to show this to anyone, because if they have this key, they can stream to your channel. I, of course, know how foolish it is to show this key, so I'm going to change it later after I've done recording this video, so don't bother trying. Anyway, now that you've got this key, you want to copy it, and then go back to OBS, and then paste it in here. If you click show, you can see it's all there. The live underscore, I think that's your Twitch ID, underscore some random number. Once that's done, hit apply or OK. But while we're here, if you go back to your Twitch there's something else you need to set. Well, you don't need to do it per se, but you really should. You want to go over to the side panel here, click the arrow, and then go to settings, or you can go to twitch.tv/settings/profile. And then you want to swap over to channels and videos up here. Then you want to scroll down and find archive broadcasts. Make sure this is ticked. I can't stress that enough. If it's not ticked, Twitch won't save your videos for the default period of 2 weeks or anything. They will just disappear once you stop streaming. So I highly recommend you make sure this is turned on. And once you're done, click Save Changes. Anyway, going back to OBS. In the settings here, I'll just go over a couple more settings. So output, this is where you can set your video bitrate. You generally want to set it based on your resolution. So if you're going to be streaming at 920 by 1080, then you want a nice bitrate like the one they've suggested here, 2500. But for the majority of purposes, you're probably not going to need that much. It's fairly safe to drop it to about 1000 if you're going to be doing retro games. Which, if you're watching this video, you probably are. Audio bitrate, you don't quite need 160. It's fairly safe to drop it to 128 without any noticeable loss of quality. You probably want to leave the encoder setting alone. Although if you're having trouble, you can try changing it. Alright, recording. So you want to change the recording format of the local video to MP4, because no one likes FLV. FLV is a terrible format and you shouldn't use it. You can set the recording path to a different place. For example, if you've only got a certain amount of room on your one hard drive, you might want to set it to another hard drive. And you also want to, in general here, you want to make sure you tick automatically record when streaming. Back over here in general. That way it'll make sure to save any recordings you make on your local system as well. It's always good to have a backup, especially if you're doing something like SRL races and you get proof called. You might need that backup. Audio, here's where you can set your microphone. I don't have any plugged in, but if I did, it would show up here and you can select it from a drop-down. Video is where you set your resolution. So the base canvas resolution is the size of this black window here. And then the output scaled resolution is what you're uploading. So for example, our square is 1920 by 1080, and we're downscaling it to 720p. You can set how it downscales, but generally bicubic's going to be fine. And you can set your FPS. I really wouldn't recommend anything other than 30 or 60, but if you want the other options, they're there too. You can also change from common FPS values to actual, like, numbers, so you can manually set it. But it's just weird. So worth noting is the more you're downscaling, the more CPU usage you're going to be using. So if you find that you're choking your CPU with a lot of usage, you might want to try setting the base canvas and the scaled resolution closer together. You can ignore hotkeys, ignore advanced. Okay, so click apply and OK. And we're pretty much ready. So now we've set up our profile. If I hit start streaming, it would just start uploading this blank screen to Twitch. Instead, what we're going to do is add a game to our scene here. Because it's a little bit blank at the moment. No one just, wants to watch a blank screen. I'm going to put over here. Open up Visual Boy Advance. So if we swap back over here to sources, and then we select window capture from after we hit the plus button. It'll go create new, and then we can pick the window from a drop down here. So we're going to pick Visual Boy Advanced. If you don't want to capture your mouse cursor, you can turn that off. I'm just going to leave it on. And here we go. We've got our source in there. So it's a bit dull having it in that small of the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag it around. And you can drag the corners of this here to resize it. You can do this with all the elements, or if you right click, you can go transform. You can do things like flip it or rotate it. But more probably you're going to use center to screen or fit to screen to just sort of get it in the middle there. So if you want to hide a display, you can click this little eye icon here. That turns it on and off. The same goes with your audio settings. You can turn that on or off there. So now that we've got those, what else did I need to tell you? Not that. Oh right, I was going to explain the different types of capture. So there's a lot of different capture types here. We won't go into all of them, but we'll just go over the main three that you will probably be using. If you're running a windowed game, like an emulator or an old freeware game, then you're going to want a window capture. That lets you select a window. If you're running a newer game or a full screen application, you're going to want a game capture. A game capture you can set to capture any full screen application, or you can set it to capture a specific window with a drop down like that. I think it's got like better encoding rates or something, I don't know. I just mainly use it for full screen games. And then lastly, you've got display capture, which captures a whole monitor. Some games, for some reason, just don't capture well in game capture or window capture for whatever reason. So you end up having to use a monitor capture, also called a display capture. For example, like that. Turn that off. So yes, now with all this set up, you're ready to stream. So once you're good, hit the start streaming button. And there you go. You are now streaming to Twitch. This over here is my stream. It can sometimes take a little while to go online, but you can see down here that I'm already dropping frames and counting. So this counter here is how long you've been streaming for, and drop framed is how many frames you're dropping. See, here we go, it's going live now. Get that back out of the way. So yes, you can see I'm dropping a lot of frames here. If you're doing that, then you want to lower your resolution or your frame rate or your bit rate, or all three. Generally what you want to do. CPU is how much CPU usage it's using. FPS is what you're streaming at, and this is the bit rate, the speed you're currently uploading at. So you can see mine's fairly low, and I'm dropping a lot of frames, so I'm going to want to drop my resolution and my bitrate. But yeah, once you're done, you click stop streaming. And there you go. Congratulations, you've just streamed to Twitch. So that'll be it for this video. But if you want a more in-depth look at the other sources or some of the tricks you can do in OBS, then you can check out the next video, which is more of an advanced look. I'll link that in the, I'll also link all the links I used in this video, like the OBS project and the Twitch dashboard ones. I'll put them in the doobly-doo, so check that out if you need them. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or there is a forum for OBS if you're still having trouble. And I believe there's FAQs as well. If you Google around, you can generally find the answer you're looking for. But anyway, thanks for watching and I hope that helped. Bye!